Alright, let's get started this morning. Okay, so obviously GameStop's going up today. Probably going to take some trades on that. Was holding one share overnight kind of just as like a joke, so I'm up a little bit on it today. As far as other stocks that were coming up, this morning we had a few of them pop up, but have you know since dropped down pretty significant. MNOV is still kind of close to the pre-market highs. I think that's going to be the one to watch besides GameStop at the moment. So yeah, I mean, KOSS just popping up now. So KOSS popping up, but on fairly light volume price. So I think I would be a little worried taking a trade on this at the moment. 20,000 shares, the last few minute candles. Wait for this to go up a bit if we're going to take a trade on it. Wait for some volume to come in. Stop pushing up nicely though right now. Into 285 right now. Let's see if we can get over 285. Just dropped down to VWAP, so as far as taking a trade on it, buying into the the levels of resistance has not worked out very well for me in the last week, so not going to be buying into those resistance levels on GameStop. Going to be looking for pullbacks to buy into a position or add to the position. So yeah, as it bounced off VWAP here, that would have been a good place to look for an add to a position. High volume right now on this candle. Just failed to push through 285. So it seems like there's a pretty big seller sitting on 285. Give it a second. See if we can make a break back through, or if we're going to get a little more of a pullback here before we actually are able to make a move. Pulling back a bit more now. Level 2 broke through 283. So bid now at 282. See how it holds up here. As long as it's holding above this 281.50, which is where the VWAP was, where it's the price of the last dip, I think we're looking okay. It's at 282.50 right now. Bit of selling coming in after we just bounced off of 285. We just kind of spiked up to 283, but like really that's just like the bid-ask spread right now. We were at 280, 82.50 was the bid, 283.50 was the ask. So when it jumped up, like a full dollar there, it was literally just a switch from someone buying on the bid to someone buying on the ask. But buying on the ask, I guess, is a indicator of strength of people. Especially when the spreads are so high, a lot of the buying that you'll see will be kind of right in the middle. So if you see someone buying on the ask, or you see a lot of volume coming in on the ask, it's a good sign. KOSS still popping up a little bit here, but again, super light volume, pretty high price stock, $25 at the moment. This is the kind of thing where it's less than 4 million float stock at $25. If all of a sudden someone puts in a sell order for like a 20,000 share position, it could drop $3 a share. So we see more volume coming in. Probably not going to take a trade on that. Pushing down to 282 right now. See if we get a bounce off the ask right now is 282.50. Might take a few shares here. Our bid just pushed down into the 281. Really, we'd like to hold above 281.50. We're going to hold this previous level of support. Happening here. Seeing some green buying coming in, very, very low share size though. As we're putting through here, I try to get some shares on the. I'm gonna try to get some shares as we're coming up. Grab 10 shares here. Got them at 283 just because I was buying on the ask, so had to buy high there. Let's see if we can get these. Get them back up. So we did end up selling down to like, the bid hit 281.50, but it didn't look like any orders actually went through that low. Then we kind of bounced back up, saw some buying coming in. Our ask just broke over 283, but then pulled back. So I'm just hanging out in the middle at the moment. First small order went in above 283.
GME trades this morning?
I made like a couple trades, but did not really make any money.
Stock's up like crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's up, but it's like, it moved up quite a lot in the morning, like before 5. And I was like watching it, and I was like, this volume is like super, super light. Like, so I didn't take any trades on it until later when I thought there was like one candle when it was like pushing up really nice, and I was like, oh man, like I'm gonna hop in on that volume. And I hopped in. It's like immediately turned around on me. So, you know how it is. It's the classic.
Yeah, hold on, this thing's up like 50%, not 50%, probably like 30%.
From yesterday and close. Only up like what we closed at. I guess we technically closed at 248, but it was up to 260.
Yeah,
Like 15% from there.
it's pretty good.
20%. Well, we'll see. I'll take some trades on it today. My one share is really putting in work, though. I gotta say.
Yeah, up to
Most
$40,
most money I've made in a minute. GameStop.
dude. Imagine if you just held 100 of those.
Imagine if I had just held 100. What's going on, Jens Peter? Yeah, I'm telling you, this YouTube viewer stuff. It's like if I put GME in the title, people from YouTube find me. Very surprising. But if I don't put GME in the title, literally no one can find me on YouTube ever. So what's going on,
Keep
man?
on GME.
Just taking some trades this morning on GameStop. Kind of watching for other stuff coming up as well. A few things popped up earlier this morning, but pretty much everything is pulled back. The KOSS I have on watch, but it's trading on super light volume, and it's a fairly low float stock, so and pretty high priced. So I'm gonna give it a little time, see if some volume can come into it before we take another trade on that. GameStop right now is pushing down back to 282. Fortunate. Yeah, dude. Just gotta put GME in the title. Everyone's searching for GME Live. Well, I welcome you to my stream. Thank you for clicking. If you just wanna check out the scanners, go to oliveguardians.com. Got scanners. Oh, thanks for subbing, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, check out the scanners on oliveguardians.com. If you want to trade like low float stocks as well, I got scanners up for that and anything that's really moving significantly. So that's usually what I get my stocks that I trade off of in the morning. Right now, I'm holding a few shares at GameStop, not too much. I just got 10 shares right now. Just waiting for it to try to like break up through these levels here. Bought the little dip off of VWAP here. Hoping for a move back up. GameStop was looking tremendously strong yesterday, so I hope we see some follow through today on that. KOSS is still pushing up. You know, it's just grinding up, but I'm just really not comfortable with such few shares being traded on it and it being very high price for a low float and having, you know, fairly low float, sub less than 4 million share float. So if I want to take a trade on this with such little volume that's being traded, I mean, if like one person with a big position decides to sell off, then it's just brutal. Oh, when is the Roblox IPO actually? I haven't thought about that in a while. It should be like soon, shouldn't it? I feel like it was supposed to be in March. I assume they put a date out for that. It's IPO date. Like, I feel like the past few times I tried to Google this, I haven't really seen like an actual like explicit date. So I don't know. I saw people on Wall Street Bets talking about it at some point though that it was supposed to IPO sometime in March. KOSS, man, KOSS just pushing up right now. Maybe that's the one to take a trade on at the moment. I'll just keep an eye on GameStop in case our position goes the other way, but KOSS looking really nice right now. God, it just pushed 28. Thing's got serious momentum. Spread's kind of big. It's going crazy. Waiting for a dip to try to buy this, but it's just going straight up. Dipped a little bit there. Immediately got bought up. Crazy, dude. Crazy. Alright, so next time it comes down a little bit, try to get some shares on this. Red coming in. Tried to buy the dip off 29 there. Only got filled with, you know, a couple shares. Only 5 of my shares filled at low 29, fortunately. Pushing up to 30. The thing is just the last 5 minute or this current 5 minute candle is up $7. So I'm gonna wait until we get an actual 1 minute pullback before I buy anything on this. I got my 5 shares filled, but I just sold them as I went. It was over 30. Not anything too significant. I made like $1 on it. It's so extended right now. I want to wait for a real pullback before I buy into this. I'm hoping if we get a pullback on it, it will be, you know, we'll get some continuation and it won't just come back all the way down to VWAP and just keep pushing. So finally putting in a tiny little red candle on the 1 minute. We'll see if it can hold red. I would like this 1 minute candle to close lower, and then we can buy as it's coming up. So, kind of $50. Stop still kind of just chilling right now, so I'm not gonna look at that. See if it holds 28. Broke down below it. This is why I was hesitant to take a trade on it. It just dropped from $31 to $27 in 1 minute. So if it comes back up above 28 now, we'll probably buy to try to get the move back up. So the 1 minute candle just closed red. See if it starts moving. So, bought 15 shares, looking for the breakthrough 28 and then the push back up towards 30. See how it looks as it's trying to hold 28. Not pushing up through 28 very well. Give it a second, but alright, here we go. Broke over 28. Seems like it's holding above it alright right now. People taking profit as it's pushing up towards like 28.30, it looks like. Oh, it's looking good. I take off just 5 shares at the moment. We'll see if it continues on. Holding above 28 would be good right now, but like it to, at the very least, hold above 27.50. If we push it down below 27.50, we'll sell off. And just sell it off there. I just want to be more careful on this stock because it can turn around very quickly. Just pushed up from $18 to 31 on fairly light volume. Volume definitely could be better on that. GME is holding exactly where it was. Not really too much going on with it. It's got a little bit of ascending support on GME. We probably want to see it hold above like 282 right now. And then if we break up above 285, then we're looking good. The last time it came up to 285, though, it tapped against it and then pulled back. It looked like there was quite a big seller on it. So we'll see what happens if it comes back up to 285 again. The last time it tapped 285 was this big red candle here. Just sold off immediately once it bought into it. The KOSS still looks like it's trying to make a setup here. One minute, if it pushes up, towards $28 again, could be a buy setup. It's a little choppy. We'll see. It does. Just watching some stuff right now. Unfortunately, everything else that I was watching this morning, 6 and 7, is pulled back. So CETX has come down from $5.50 down back below 3. ARTL was at 360, now at 234. MNOV still holding up, but $3, $2 off the pre-market high. And then OBLN, another one that's like $2 off the pre-market high. So probably going to be some time before we see those come back up, if they are going to come back up. So just gotta be patient. Wait for, maybe wait for GME to start making moves, or another stock pops up on news, or potentially KOSS can start coming back up. If it makes like a 1 minute breakout now, it's much safer, since the break is going to be over 2780, and then the low that we're looking at is like 2680, I guess. So $1, as opposed to if we were trying to buy into this breakout as it's coming up, it could have been like a $2 potential hold. GameStop coming back down to VWAP. See if it ends up holding up. Spreads on GameStop are still, killer. It's trading in a range between 281.50 and 285, and the spread is like $1. So it's a $4 range with $1 spread. It's pretty unfortunate. It's very difficult to tell which direction it's going to break, because the spread moves pretty significantly even without much trading going on. So we're just going to have to wait until we see a break up or down. So even this candle, this red candle that pushed down to 282.20, it's still a little low. We kind of had like some ascending support, but this candle broke that ascending support line, but we didn't get a sell-off, so still looking okay if we get some buying coming back in. Just have a few shares, 300 shares bought at 283. Good to see. Got some buying coming up over 283. So on like the bid and ask don't update until an order goes through of 100 shares or more. So a lot of buying and selling is happening near the bid and ask and in the middle, but you can't, or it's not actually reflected in the bid ask spread until, or it's not actually reflected in like the marked price until you get an order of 100 shares or more. So here you have just a bunch of shares, about 300, 400 shares bought up into 283, higher 283s, which is good to see. Seeing buying coming into 284 is good. When it came down to 282, it kind of stalled out, so looks like the selling pressure seems less at the moment. KOSS kind of just moving sideways, low 28. Crazy going on there. I'd like to see GameStop push up above 284. Bid pretty close to the ask right now, which is good to see. Very, very light volume. Not really a whole lot of anything going on. No big orders, just mostly small orders going through right now. And for KOSS, we'll probably wait for a 5-minute setup on this. So this break over 2780. 30 seconds when the candle closes. Similar to GameStop, it looks like it's ready to break in one direction. So we'll see what this next candle does, because The 5-minute candles have been consolidating in a smaller and smaller area, so this next candle should tell us which way it's going to break. Hopefully. We've had, significantly less volume as these candles gone on. Next minute or two is kind of the time to watch on GME to see which way we're going to go and if we need to sell our shares or not. Some small shares selling, but nothing crazy at the moment. We're kind of just holding between 23 and 24, or 283 and 284 rather. Careful here if it starts pushing down. KOSS coming up to that 2780 level that I was talking about before. So put KOSS on the active trader window here. Starts pushing up, maybe we'll take a trade on this. GameStop seems to have a little buying green direction, but nothing too spectacular. So just pushing up over 2780 right now. So I'm gonna try to buy a few shares as KOSS is coming up. So bought 10 shares. See if we can hold above this previous 1-minute candle. So we have to hold the 2780 level, but it seems like it's kind of coming down. Yeah, it's just getting. And so rejected pretty hard off of 28. There. GameStop seems to have broken up a little bit, and also on a little bit higher volume on the 1-minute than we've seen in previous candles. So get that up here. Let's check out the charts. So it just broke up, but then immediately came back down to the next candle. So nothing really remarkable there. But if we start selling into 282 here, probably going to take off these shares that I'm holding. Just because we should be breaking out of this consolidation level soon. I guess the low is 2. So just drop down to 282. Bid is 282 exactly right now. See if it holds up here. Holds up, I'll keep the shares. We seem to be selling through 282, then just sell them off. Just kind of like stuck in this. See it break one way or the other. Maybe like 3,000 share buyer sitting on 282, so not anything too crazy. Yeah, so we broke through. Probably gonna sell off these shares. Unfortunate. It has the potential to come back up here, but usually breaking out of, a consolidation range down through VWAP is not a positive indicator. So I'm just gonna sell off right now. Maybe later, as it comes back up, we can make another trade on it. KOSS looking not great. It rejected really hard in the 5-minute breakout, so We'll have to wait a while before we take another trade on that. MGI just popped up. Very light volume. But then again, so was KOSS, and that ended up being a very good opportunity. So to see if MGI ends up back a little bit. We'll wait to see what this next 1 minute candle does. If we see some volume coming in, then we'll buy. GME selling off a little bit more. Nothing too crazy. Drop down below 280 though, which is not what you want to see. See if it comes up and we hold the level. So MGI, man. Like I was saying before, we were looking at KOSS earlier, and it was coming up on light volume, but it still made a really nice move. So definitely more volume coming into the MGI right now. See if it holds above $9 here. See if it starts pushing back up to $9.39. I'm gonna try to get some shares on the dip here. Oop, and it dipped real hard. That dip was significant. Hold it for a second, see if it can come back up. Yeah, so this is like definitely the troubles with trading something with significantly very low volume like this. That's a lower float stock. We bought on the dip down to $9, and it dipped all the way to $8. Still holding though. We'll see if this thing come back up. If it continues going down though, breaks through 850, then we'll sell off our shares. So I wouldn't normally have taken a trade on a stock like this, but in the last 2 days, we've seen lower float stocks, like even on low volume, just continue making moves up. KOSS is an example of that. I waited on it this morning, so if you look at KOSS, I was looking at it as it was coming up, and it was coming up on light volume, and I was like, I'm not going to take a trade on this, and then it started dipping, similar to what we're seeing with MGI right now. And then after the dip, it went up another $7. So now that I see that, this morning is kind of similar to the other days we've seen this week, that we have a really good momentum on these stocks, I'll try to buy more, see if we can get continuation on MGI if it starts coming back up towards $9 again. One minute candle seems to be pushing down, so just double bottomed 855. See if we can hold above 850. Significantly lighter volume on these pullbacks, so this red candle is very light volume. Maybe in 15 seconds, this next 1 minute candle, we'll see if we can get the push up through 875 back towards $9. And we're pushing down. Just tapped VWAP. What's going on, gentlemen? How goes it? So we're looking at MGI right now. NVB also seems to be popping up. So it's coming up really nicely. I might switch over from MGI to ENVB. I was hoping for some continuation on MGI here, but Just didn't give it to me. Yeah, I'm gonna sell off the shares then. And switch over maybe ENVB. I'm gonna kind of go through some of the other stuff we were looking at. GME. It just broke down recently. Still holding below VWAP, so not gonna take a trade on that just yet. CETX pulled way back. I'm just gonna remove that. I don't foresee this coming back unless something crazy happens. ARTL, yeah. KOSS is still looking good. ENVB coming back up right now, countering a little resistance at 420. See if this comes up here. I'm gonna buy some shares, looking for it to break through 420. Definitely hitting some resistance there, but a lot of buying coming into it, so maybe we'll see this breakthrough. Have 421 again. So this 1 minute candle didn't break through 420, so I expect to see a pullback here. We'll see if we hold 4. Hold above 4 as we come back up. Yeah, dude, GameStop going off, dude. Nuts. But it's pulling back a little bit right now. Coming back up to 420 on ENVB. The KOSS still holding, below 28, which is some resistance it hit earlier. Gonna take a trade on that just yet. GME coming back up. So it broke down through VWAP, but it didn't hold down there very long. Alright, ENVB pushing up. Broke through 420. So ENVB, 17 million share float, so good move alright. Fairly low float. But it seems to be having trouble breaking through the level here. Kind of selling off a bit. I'm going to hold it down through 4. But the fact that it just broke through the 421, need to hit 425 and then pull it back is not good. Like quite a bit of support at 4, but it's ramming into it pretty hard, so I would expect it to break down through there. Maybe we'll get a bounce. Just triple bottomed at $4, so might be the time to see a move up here. On the daily chart, what we got? So the daily chart, it's been in this $4 to $6 area over the last month. So we might be hitting a bunch of people who have been holding up there who are trying to get out at the moment. So it could be a reason why we're having such resistance coming up through. Yeah, it's just making such weak moves through the highs. GameStop back at 282. ENVB struggling here. VWAP is now above $4, but I don't know if it's gonna hold above 4 if it goes back into it again. I'd like to see a cleaner breakthrough It's 435 pre-market high, but GameStop coming back down through VWAP. Still kind of just like in the same, it technically like broke out of its consolidation, but it's still very close to VWAP. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this start going up at some point in the near future. ENVB still just grinding up, dude. Oh, just a big sell order there. Dropped like 20 cents. Just dropped below view up. I would it is holding 4. I wanna hold this until it breaks down through 4, since it's holding 4 so well. I'm not confident enough to take more shares down there, but if we start actually seeing it make a move up, then be quite happy to take some more shares on it. I don't think there's really anything else at the moment that's moving up. KOSS still kind of right below VWAP. MGI still low. Not really doing too much. Yeah, got ENVB that's now bounced off $4 5 times. How many times can it bounce off $4 before it breaks through? I mean, someone's definitely buying like just sitting at $4 with like 100,000 share order or something. This thing is selling into 4 hard and it's getting bought up. The ultimate support level at the moment. It also means when it does break through 4, it might be pretty violent. Just trading in a really tight range right now. We might have to wait for like a 5-minute setup to actually see this break cleaner. 5-minute setup, it's still 3 minutes out. If we wanted this to close red and then make a 5-minute setup, it would have to stay in, stay in this range for 2.5 more minutes. Quite a long time to expect it to do that. Look at GME did yesterday. So we have like a very similar, structure to yesterday in the morning with GME and today. At 4 o'clock, it went up. Coming into 5 o'clock, similar to what we did today. Pulled back, made another bigger pullback, which we haven't done yet, so we'll see if that is in the cards for us. But then generally went up coming into the open, so we'll see if that happens for us today. ENVB just broke through 4. It broke through by 5 cents. It's holding just below it. See if it comes back up. Pushing back down, selling off. If this thing does come back up and make a 5-minute setup, then take another trade on it. Just getting blasted today, down $15 on the few trades that I made. I think all 3 trades that I've made this morning have been losers, sadly. Looking for a little bit more of a move on these. I bought closer to 4, and I wanted to see if we could come back up and actually make like a solid breakthrough, pushing up to 450. And then if we pushed to 450, I think that would have been, first place or like a profit target. But it didn't end up happening on the NVB. So we got GTT popping up, a little bit of a higher float stock, decent volume, but lower price. Yeah, on Thinkorswim, I don't know of a way to get the P&L for the week. GameStop coming down a little bit more to 278. So like levels we could potentially buy off of on GameStop. If it comes down closer to a 275, might be a time to buy. It tapped 272 or 273 earlier today. So if we come down a little closer to that, it might be a time to buy. Expecting it to bounce off of that level again. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about on the 5-minute chart. We could see it came down to 273. So if we see it push down a little bit more, maybe to 275, we'll buy, and then we'll have our stop set at 273. 72, somewhere down there. It opened at 269 today. GTT coming up, but it's just, for how many shares it's trading, it's really not moving very much. KOSS. Yeah, KOSS just dropped off even more, so pretty much everything is just falling off. ENVB looks like it's making a move back up. Yeah, pretty nice move. Yeah, buying on this 1-minute candle would have been solid. Oh, what is KOSS in relation to GameStop? Really? Let's see. What's that? Let's see. Oscorp. All that is. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, you are right. It looks like every time there's news on like AMC or GME popping up, it always, KOSS is always included in it. Really? Oh, just because it's cheaper? I guess that makes sense. Alright, so GameStop just made a dip here down to 275, so I'm gonna try to buy a few shares. Oh man, unfortunate. By the time I went to buy, it had gone up $2. That's sad. So we'll see if it dips down again here. I'd like to get it in the 275 area. 276, I'll take it for right now. I'll take 10 shares. And then we'll hold those shares down to 273. Trying to get the bounce off of the previous level of resistance on the 5-minute. Should be right here. And then profit target, maybe take off half as I'm coming up to 279, since this was the previous level of resistance. And if you take off half coming into 279, 280, then just let the rest roll as it pushes up through view up. Yeah, and then bailout, like I said, 273, since that was the low that we hit previously today. So we don't really want to go below that. Talking ENVB. bit. Yeah, so this is kind of the break that I wanted to see it make earlier, and it just was consolidating in this range, and it just would not get out of it. Dropped down and then made the break as it came back up. So nice move on ENVB. If anyone was watching it, really good. So GME right now, still kind of just chilling right above 274. Spread is really big right now. His spread is 274.50 by 276, so rough spreads. But you know, the fact that we're holding just below or just above 274, you know, we came to this dip down to the same level a few times and got bought up each time so far. It's a good sign. So looking for a move back up over 276. Tesla by AMC. Tesla was like, I mean, Tesla got wrecked, obviously, but heard it was rallying. Yeah, dude, what the hell? Insane. Yesterday it went from 570 up to 670. Jesus Christ. That's nuts. Alright, we just popped back up. Moved back up to 277. Like I said, as far as profit targets, we'll see how it looks coming into 279. It looks like it's hitting some resistance at 279. We'll probably take off half. Nice. That's awesome. Dude, Tesla's insane though. I'm like afraid of Tesla, bro. Thing could swing $50 anytime that it wants. Horrifying. ENVB coming back down to earth. Might be one to watch for another trade on this as it comes back up, but I can at least focus on what I'm looking at on my trade in GameStop right now. Still holding above 274, which is good. Just needed to continue doing that. My cost base is a little high because I tried to buy as it came down here, the 274, 275 region on the first dip that it made on this candle. And as I put my orders in at 270, I think it was like 274.90 something, it popped up to like 277, and I was like, well, you know, if it's popping up right now, like I don't want to miss the trade on it, even if I get in a little worse cost basis. So instead of being at 20 or 275, at 276.50. So not spectacular, but you know, still be a decent trade if we push back up towards 280. Making moves, but yeah, 17 million share float, so it's not moving as much as some of the other stocks that we've seen this morning. And hitting a lot of resistance on the way up. Like I said, ENVB has been kind of in this $4 to $5 range, $4 to $6 range for 2 months now. I guess 3 months. And then the high of its range is $5.90. So really, if it can break over that $5.90, $6, then it has room to run. Previously in December, it ran up to $15 in one day, and it held it, which is really good to see. So if it starts pushing up on higher volume and looking better, as it comes up through $5 and we push to $6, maybe we can start getting a much higher move if it catches some momentum. But watching GameStop right now, so we're coming back up, pushing over 278. So the level I really want to watch is as we're coming into 279. 279 looks like it's struggling. Then we'll take off half of our position. I want to see it push up through here right now. Very light volume this morning on GameStop. Kind of been like the story of GameStop on this second squeeze. The first squeeze, every day had significant volume, like very significant. And I feel like this squeeze every day has been kind of like the volume's kind of been a little lackluster, but the stock's still been going up, so it's good to see in that way. Buying up into 279 right now, countering a little bit of resistance there at 278.80. If the bid comes back up to 278.50, I'll probably take off half my shares, depending on how it looks. But the bid's sitting at 278 right now. Spread's 77 cents. Alright, we're pushing up. Hitting a bit of resistance at 279 there. I didn't get a chance to take off my half. Oh. I see if anyone's willing to buy on the ask there at 279. So just spiked up to 279 on a big order. But the bid didn't come with it, so if I had hit the bid, I still would have sold at 277. So even though it was 279 for a very brief period of time, like it's not a level that I could have sold at. I have an order sitting just above 279, so if it does spike up like that again, I should be able to get filled. I think that's, seeing as we are hitting resistance coming into it, I think that's a good place for the profit target. Broke above it and then immediately pulled back, but all the dips seem to be getting bought up pretty well. He's still climbing up, getting closer to $5. Pretty good. I saw GTT popped up on the scanners again, but not really moving too much. Keep bumping against 279, but we just can't seem to make it through. See some more volume coming in, but it seems like we're trading closer to 278 now. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna be coming down a little bit. I don't love to see that. Might get a little pullback. As long as we're holding above 274, though. 273, I think we're still okay. B hit 498. Happen against that $5 level. What we want to see. Coming back down a little bit more, but very light volume. So it's good to see the pullback on super light volume. Seems like people aren't willing to sell that easily coming off those resistance levels, which is good. It'd be nice if we can get a 5-minute setup on ENVB. I'd definitely take a 5-minute setup on that. These 1-minute setups aren't making huge breakthroughs whenever they do. So I think we'll wait for a pullback on ENVB. How often? I have not ever watched this banana suit yet, but the banana suit is only a month old, so I don't think it requires washing just yet. I also shower before I get into it every morning, so my banana suit is pristine. Probably the cleanest piece of clothing I own. Only wear it when I'm just showered, and I literally don't move in it. I just sit completely still. Sit completely still and trade, so. Want to see GameStop push back up to 279 here. So we got a little bit of a pullback, and then we're coming back off of it, which is good. ENVB pulled back a little bit. So we put in our first, red 5-minute candle in a bit. It just hit 8:30, so time to, this is time to kind of look at the scanners, make sure we're not missing anything popping up on news at 8:30, or anything that just started, going off with higher volume at 8:30, but doesn't look like any of that's happening. So yeah, some guy from YouTube was talking earlier, and he said that he was thinking about buying the Roblox thing, but so their IPO is today. Do they have any estimated time that it's going to be listed? Also, do you know what the ticker is, gentlemen? Alright, so we're coming back up into 279. I'm going to try to take off half as we push into 279. So, took off half my shares. Oh, that's interesting. I assume that its list price is gonna be absurdly high today. Yeah, especially I mean, it's super meme stock. I feel like people have been talking about this for months. Oh, it's just RBLX. Actually, I'm gonna check to see if I'm gonna see if I update now every morning. I update my update the tickers that are being traded. Okay, cool. Because I missed on Friday there was a recently IPO'd stock that I hadn't updated my scanner's ticker list for a while, and I missed it. And when I was watching some of the guys I watch on YouTube, I saw them trading it, and I was like, why didn't that come up on my scanner? So now every morning before I start the bot, I update the ticker list with everything that's listed on Nasdaq, NYSE, and everything. So I can confirm that my bot is aware that RBLX exists. So if it does start popping up, it will show up on my scanners. It might be I need to actually see. This will be a good test because it technically doesn't have a previous close price. I don't know what I do to handle that in my scanner right now. So GME came up over 279. I sold as it pushed up over 279, half my shares. It's coming back down at the moment. It's still light volume on the pullback, so still looks okay. $5 is a joke. This thing is gonna be it's gonna open. It's gonna be $150 immediately or something. It's just gonna get memed on. Yeah, we'll see. I hate it. I hate new listings because it's just so annoying that they don't have a set price or a set time when it opens. It's so strange to me that they would do IPOs and new listings, and it's just oh, we're just gonna do it today, but it's we're not telling you exactly when. You just have to sit there and wait all day until the ticker just starts printing. It's just I don't know, semi-annoying to me. I don't know why they do that. Oh, wait. On Wednesday morning, NYSE will collect buy and sell orders from broker-dealers. A designated market maker will then determine Roblox opening price. That's interesting. So they're already accepting orders right now? So, like, people can set limit orders on it? And then they'll just, like, determine the price based on those limit orders? We're pushing back down here. As long as we're holding above 273, we're still looking good. So, I get to hold that. How's SPY doing right now? Said SPY is popping off. I mean, Tesla's always going crazy. Tesla's up right. Healthy. Did news just come out or something? Seemed like 8:30. Everything just started going off. Uh, oh. What is? I assume this is some news. USA core CPI year over year beat the estimate, I guess. So I guess that's the reason SPY is going off right now. Just had like looking at my scanner, I just had a stock that popped up that said it lost 99.98% of its value in the last 5 minutes. I don't see how that's possible. Yeah, I don't know what that was. This is probably like some weird order that went through or something, or did it get like delisted or something? What's going on with that? Yeah, SPY looking good this morning. Tesla also looking good. Not really seeing anything too crazy pop up on the scanners though, coming off 8:30, which is unfortunate. I was hoping to see something new pop up. We still have ENVB. ENVB though, over the last 10 minutes, has kind of just been holding just below $5. So it seems like quite a bit of resistance coming into $5. GameStop coming back up. That's what I like to see. So I bought the 5 shares, down here at 276 as it dipped down, held through this, like a little bit of choppiness here. It came back up. We knew that 279 was a previous resistance level, so as it popped up through it, I sold half my shares off. And then it took a nosedive, so it's coming back up now. Still holding the other 5 shares that we bought into, so looking good. I think those other 5 shares, if it does come up and starts to pull above VWAP, we're gonna want to wait until like a downward trend break again, especially because going into the open yesterday, GameStop was doing pretty well. So hold them, see if we can push above VWAP, and then hold above it. If we push above VWAP and then fall back below it, then I'll sell the shares off, and then on the downside, 273 is our bailout point for the 5 shares I'm holding currently. Just gotta have those, price targets in mind, and also where you're gonna sell. Once we, if we do come up, break through VWAP, and we start trending up again, then I'll want to sell when we, break trend and start turning down. So we'll wait for like periods of consolidation, and then if we break out of consolidation downwards, then that's going to be the time to sell. So just try to get as much as we can out of the shares that we're currently holding. ANTE just popped up on the scanner, but it doesn't really look like it's doing too much. Yeah, it's not really doing much at all. ENVB, man, just grinding. This thing is a grinder. So even like the 5-minute setups on this. So if we look at the charts for ENVB, I'm down for a green day. Sounds good to me. Yeah, so if we look at the charts for ENVB, so nice 5-minute pullback, and then breakout. This 5-minute pullback, this 5-minute candle did a false breakout, but it still held. It's low, which is see. And then this 5-minute breakout, we just have, see if we can get continuation above 527. I've been more focusing on the GME shares that I'm holding, but now I'm only holding half position, and I'm kind of gonna wait for a bigger move on it. So I think I might start looking at maybe ENVB to try to take a trade on it, but I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback before I do that. On the 1-minute chart for ENVB, it consolidated around $5 for 15 minutes before it broke out. So I'd want to see another pullback, maybe like at least one red candle before I buy into it. And ENVB, when we look at it on the daily chart, I know I was talking about this earlier, but I'll show you guys. So it was between this $4 and $6 area for several months. The top being $5.90 here, and then $6 for this red candle way back here. So if we break through these levels of resistance, then we have a lot of room to run up to the highs back in December, which is 15. There was a big level of resistance here at 1182, but yeah, if we start moving up and there's more volume coming into it, maybe in the open as it starts pushing up between the first like 2 hours of the open, maybe we can see a move up through $6 and then try to reclaim some of those previous highs. But for right now, we'll just keep it on watch. Like I said, if I'm going to take a trade on ENVB, I want to see at least one red candle, and then as we come up above that red candle that we put in, then maybe we'll take shares coming up. And GME, we're still just holding, kind of consolidating in this area a little bit between 273 and 279. So I assume this will take a few more minutes at least to shake out, to see which way we're going to break. Bailout points 273, and then on the way up we'll see what the stock's doing, and then make a determination on what we want to, how far we're going to hold them. ENVB grinding up. For anyone who's new to the chat, check out oliveguardians.com. Got the scanners I trade from up there. Click on the menu, you can see low float, medium float, high float stocks that have been moving up, like the highest percent change. I look at anything above 25%, so it's just percent change on the day. You can get information about like the float of stocks and stuff. So this is going to be like the things that when traders sit down at 9 o'clock to start trading, this is the kind of thing they're going to look at. They're going to say, all right, so kind of a lower float stock, maybe 16 million shares CETX. Look at the change. Right now MNOV is the highest, but it's kind of pulled back significantly. ENVB, probably the one that we care about the most. It's still kind of making its move up right now, but I'm waiting for it to put in a red candle before I try to take a trade on it. And then, yeah, so if you want to like look for dips, there's also like things that have dropped below 10%, so you can look at those. And then the movers are anything that's moved up more than 8% in the last 5 minutes and has more than 50,000 shares of volume traded on the day. So those are essentially things that are going to be actively traded, that people are going to be looking at. They pop up on news, and then you can catch them real quick and try to get trades while people are buying into them. So everything I trade in the morning comes from these scanners. If you guys have any critiques on it, or want me to change some stuff, or something you'd like to see as far as like criteria for the scanners, let me know, and I can probably make it happen. Right now, we're holding a very small position on GameStop. We're just holding 5 shares right now. We sold off half the position as it came up into this 279 level back here, because we saw that there was resistance when we bought into it the first time. So just being safe, selling off into that as our first price target. just to take some profits. And then we're going to hold this down to 273, and then if we do get a push back up through 279 to 280, then we'll hold it until we see like a trend break. Since if we push back up to 280, then we are technically starting a new upward trend. So if we see it drop down again, then probably sell them off. AEHL just popped up on the scanners. But yeah, low volume, so not something I'm super interested in. Diamond hands. My hands are not diamond. They're the opposite of diamond. I like. I mean, I try to buy into strength usually. The first time GME was going up in January, that worked fairly well. This time, buying into strength, like buying into resistance levels, has generally, like the first time it hits those resistance levels again, has generally yielded like horrendous pullbacks. So, trying to be a little bit, I'm trying to buy dips a little bit better right now. So, that's what I'm working on. So we bought this dip here as it came down, and now we're waiting for it to come back up through 280. That's what we're doing. Oh, 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, dude, I mean, grab whatever shares you can. You know? 2 shares is better than nothing. I was holding 1 share overnight yesterday just because, like, I don't know, just because I felt like I had to be in it just in case it did end up going up a ton. I was like, man, what if last night was the night? And it's like, I don't want to hold too many shares overnight, but, just hold 1 share. And, it still paid off. I mean, I'm still holding that 1 share, but I bought it at, like, I don't even know, like 245 or something. So, still up quite a bit. I will take that money. Alright. So ENVB, dude. Oh god, dude, missed my opportunity to take a trade on this. See, it's looking really good right now. This is what I was talking about before. If we get, so we're having increasing volume. Like every single 5-minute candle so far has been on increasing volume in the last 3 5-minute candles, which is really good. And now we're pushing up towards those crucial levels. So if we get the test of $5.90 and $6, and we break through those, then we have quite a lot of room to run. So I want to be in ENVB if we actually make a run up to these levels. So I'm going to wait for a little bit of a pullback. It's pulling back below 550 right now. So I'm going to put ENVB is my active trader window, and then I'll watch GameStop in the other one. Just because GameStop seems to just kind of be like chilling right now, moving sideways. I too like the stock, It's good. I'll take it. I'm really hoping it makes a move today. I'm really hoping it makes a move every day. All right, so we're pushing up through 550 here on ENVB, taking 15 shares. If we come up through 564, I'll add shares to it. Right now, our bailout price is probably gonna be 534. It's been holding its levels pretty well, so we're pushing up through 560. So as we come up through 560, try to take 15 more shares. So bring up my active trade here so you guys can see it. So I bought 15 coming up through 540, 545, and then I just bought another 15, expecting the break through 560. So we're still holding these right now, still looking okay. It's been holding its levels pretty well, so I'm not too worried about anything. If we come down through 535, I might sell off a few, but really I'll probably sell off half, and then as long as it holds above 520, I think we're still looking okay. So 535 is that previous candle low. Let's see if it holds on it. Yeah, pre-market. So pre-market's been really good, but it's not been good if you want to actively trade it. The spreads have been like $1.50, and the volume has been so light. Like you could buy, and then all of a sudden, like, if you could buy like 25 shares, it like, say 286. And then someone, like some institutional order can go through of like 1,000 shares, and all of a sudden the bid is $5 lower than where you bought it at. So it's like trying to actively trade pre-market has just been absolutely brutal before like 7:30, 8 o'clock, because the volume has just been so rough. Yeah, dude. I mean, I know some people who like bought at 225. Like the guy right now on the Discord call with me bought at 225, held it all the way down to 40, and now it's all the way back up to 300. It's just unbelievable, dude.
So after we came back up,
Yeah,
average down though, so cost basis is 60.
yeah.
What a ride though.
Gotta average down, of course. You know what they say. You
Buy the
always
dip.
average down on a losing trade.
Gotta buy the dip. The only problem is when you're buying the dip 5 times in a row. Something's gone wrong.
You're supposed to buy the dip, not average down on the dip.
They didn't tell me that part.
Yeah. So we seem to be kind of holding above 235 right now on ENVB. It's nice that we're getting a little bit of consolidation here on the 1 minute. So if we come back up and we start to move up through 590, we're not as extended as we were previously. Since we were pretty extended, I mean, it put in a whole bunch of green candles in a row. So good to see a little bit of consolidation. Bought at 82, nice. You're killing it right now. We're still holding. ENVB still holding up pretty well. GameStop still kind of moving sideways. 277.50 at the moment. So we're still looking okay on that. So coming down a little bit. I'm going to hold this down to 520. See if we can hold 520. It seems to be the level to hold at the moment. We got 1 minute left on this candle, on this 5 minute. I think if this 5 minute candle closes red, dropped down below 520 for a second there, but immediately got bought back up. If this 5 minute candle closes red, I think that's a pretty good sign. And then I'd like to see it push back up to the highs. Dude, that'd be so sick if it came back up to 500. Like, that would just be unbelievable. Like the first time it squeezed was legendary, you know, but like if it squeezed again up to 500, it would just be like nothing is ever gonna happen like this again, probably. You know, it's just absolutely insane. All right, coming back up. This 5 minute candle closed. It closed green. Um, so I mean, it's good and bad. I kind of wanted to close red. You know, putting in like a red 5 minute candle is. And it's nice to see people are like, oh, at least we got one red candle in, so now it's not super extended anymore. But we just put another green one, so it's like five green 5 minute candles in a row. Pushing back up to 560 here. So we'll see if we can break through this time. I had some trouble doing it the last two times. But I think if we come up above 560, then we have a good chance of trying to retest that 590 level that we ran into on a previous day. Yeah, it's nuts. GameStop's insane, man. You never know. Maybe it'll go to 1,000 and then we'll all be rich. Great. Dude, yeah, I mean, you just can't think about it, you know? Like, the one thing you have to remember is, like, I mean, there's stocks that go up, 100% every day. Like, if you look at the scanner right now, there's 3 or 4 stocks above 50%. So it's like, you can't always pick the stock, you know? And GameStop, it squeezed the first time. Who would have thought it would have squeezed up to 300 again the second time? It's just like, you can't kick yourself for doing the more logical thing. And I'm not one for like holding for super long periods of time. So like my theory is always like if it's continuing to go up, I'll trade it every day. So as long as GameStop keeps going up, I'm gonna keep trying to take trades on it. But um, like when it was at like $40, there was no way I was putting any significant amount of money in it. I was like, I feel like it just wasn't a good bet at that point. But it turned out that I was incorrect, massively incorrect. So who's laughing now? So ENVB, so GME just broke down, just tapped off 273. ENVB just broke up through 560. On GameStop, I mean 273 seems to be holding. It was a very high volume red candle that pushed down, and it still held above 273. So it might be a good opportunity to take a dip trade off that, since 273 seems to be holding really nicely. ENVB just false breakout right now on the 1 minute. We'll see how the 5 minute shakes out. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I was really hoping for a move back up. Oh, dude, yeah, I paper hand literally every single share that I buy at GameStop. All right, so we just dropped through the floor on GameStop. So I'm gonna take off my position here, unfortunately, unless we come back up pretty quickly. And then I'll keep an eye on ENVB in my other window, so I don't get absolutely wrecked on that. Just bought back up to 273 a little bit. ENVB coming back down, but still holding. Holding above 540 at the moment. So I mean, yeah, this is the problem with GameStop. I mean, you'll see like these huge spikes where it's like dropped from 277 all the way down to 273 and then down to 271 within like a minute or two. But then it immediately gets bought back up. So it's just like I feel like you just get shaken out and it just goes without you and then you're real sad. So trying to not get shaken out as much. So looks okay right now. It's back up to 276. Just gotta make sure that this isn't just like a a bounce and it's gonna fall back through the floor again. So I'd really like this to hold above 273. As far as E and VB goes, I'm still holding that position. It's still holding a bit above 540 at the moment. Holding 30 shares. Yeah, dude, it's a lot of volume. Yeah, 40 million shares pre-market. That's when do the new stimulus checks get sent out? That'd be soon, right? Hey, hey, thanks for following, man. I appreciate it. Um, GME kind of falling a little bit again. It's just so unfortunate. Like I don't want to sell the position because I I know that this thing could easily jump back up. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more time here before I decide to cut it. ENVB. I was hoping at 9 o'clock we'd get some more volume coming into like ENVB as well. Fortunate. Yeah, that happens. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, the stock that I'm trading went up $30. Maybe, and you want to take profit. I can't blame him, man. I can't blame him. I feel for those people. Sometimes you just gotta take that profit. Um, so stimulus checks are coming out in May. God, that's like forever, dude. It's gonna be way too late. Oh, we're dropping back through. And getting bought back up. Every time we come down, they just keep buying us back up. Just getting lured into holding the position because it's like, oh, it just keeps getting bought back up, and then eventually it's not going to get bought back up, and I'm gonna be down $30 on this position and be really sad. Yeah, like in any normal case, I'd probably have sold this position off as it came down through 273, but I was giving GameStop the benefit of the doubt here, and obviously that backfired on me. Or did it? You know? Or did it? Maybe we'll see it come back up. 270 is definitely going to be my absolute cutoff now. If we drop below 270, because I feel like on these whole dollar like $10 levels, you see a lot more support than normal. There's just like mental support at those levels. So if it breaks through 270, I expect it's gonna sell off quite a bit more. So I'll sell off if it comes down through there. And ENVB, I still have my position in ENVB here, and it's holding. It's still holding above 520, which is what I wanted to see earlier, right? But got a minute and a half left on this 5-minute candle. It's pushing down towards 520 right now. Oh, GameStop, why you do this to me? Alright, boys. Just got wrecked. So down, still holding my 1 share GameStop. I'm going to continue holding that 1 share GameStop. But down quite a bit on the day now. Nearly $30 on the day with GameStop. Don't like that big sell-off candle there, so if it starts coming back up, I'll definitely buy back in. But I'm going to focus on ENVB. See if we can get this thing to move back up. 45 seconds, this 5-minute candle ends. And then if the next candle comes down below 520, I'm going to sell off. Otherwise, I want to try to hold this for the move up to 590 and $6. paper hands, dude. It's just all these stocks just keep falling right through them. Gotta be out. I also really don't like holding into the open. I've said this a bunch of times before because people always take profits coming into the open. And I'm just like, not like that. So we're pushing down to 520 on ENVB. We'll see what this next candle does. If it immediately sells off, we're gonna close our position here. Drop below 520. Will it hold? Yeah, seems like it wouldn't. I'm gonna sell off at least half my position, and then see if it continues dropping. Yeah, all right. So I'm selling off the rest. So I'm just getting bopped today, man. Down $60. Feels bad. So took a bad trade on KOSS, KOSS and MGI. Oh yeah, I believe you. I think it'll probably go over 300 today as well. But I'm probably gonna get in when it starts coming back up. Like I never stay out for too long, but I just don't like holding through some of these drops when, especially when we're coming into the open. I mean, I could see people taking profits now that it's gone up so high. And I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, where it's like, the first time it went up to 500 on the way down, people were like more hopeful, obviously, and like buying the dips up and like unwilling to sell. I think if we go up to past 300 and it starts going down again, I think people will be much less likely to diamond hands their shares on the way down a second time. That's just the way I feel about it. People are much more willing to do it the first time, but it's just now it's been a month and a half, and it's just like I think it's wearing on people that they've been in the red for so long, and now that they've finally tasted green, if it starts dropping again, I think they'll probably try to bail out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Um, so like I think the idea is still good, right? Like the short float is still high, and I think the squeeze is still happening. But I think when it starts dropping this time around, I think that the drop is going to be it's going to be really hard because the drop's going to be like last time it was just like short sellers, shorting all the way down pretty much, and then like some people selling their selling stock normally, but this time if it turns around on people, like people who were holding from 250, they're finally green, and then it turns right back around and drops below 250 again. I really doubt those people are going to hold on for a second time. I just don't think it's going to happen. So I think we're going to see a lot more selling off, like really like natural selling off along with short selling on the way down, and it's just going to be brutal. We'll see. We shall see. That is true. There are many smooth brains out there, so you never really know what's gonna happen. Like I'm saying this like this is something logical. Realistically, GameStop's gone from $2 to 500, back to 40, and then back to 300 in the last year. So, I mean, there's literally nothing logical about this. So, I'm just gonna try to trade what I see, and yeah, I mean, if it keeps going up, I'll keep trying to take trades on it. And it's dipping down a little bit more right now, so this might just be like usual stuff, like taking profit into the open. I'm not really like too concerned with it right now, and obviously like it's still higher than where it closed yesterday by a pretty significant amount, so still overall positive. But these last three candles have been the highest volume 5-minute candles of the day, and also the highest drops of the day as far as red minute candles go. So if we look at the charts here, um, yeah, these last 5 minute candles, big 5 minute candle, big 5 minute, all red, all pretty much highest volume of the day. And it wasn't like, if you look at the volume, it wasn't like it was all selling volume. It's pretty evenly split between selling and buying volume on these last two candles, and even so, the candles are still massively red. So it's not what you want to see, but could just be like normal coming into the open type stuff. That is true. I mean, like pretty much like only a very small subset of retail traders can trade between 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning, and then and then there's like slightly more that can trade between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock, um, and then pretty much everything's open after 9 o'clock, which is why you see some of these people who are probably like, oh my god, it hit 298 or whatever it was at this morning, and they were like, and it pulled all the way back down. Like, what if it never goes up that high? Like, let me just take some profit. Like right when Robinhood opens or whatever. Nothing really new popped up on the scanner in the last bit. In the last 30 minutes, I haven't really seen anything too exciting. So, unfortunate there. Not a ton to trade. ENVB kind of looking a little choppy where it's at right now. It just had a pretty big spike in selling, so I don't know if I'll take another trade on that. And GME holding pretty low right now. I mean, this might be a time on GME to take some shares. Now that it's like P low, even though we're coming into the open right now. I'm gonna take 5 shares on this. God, dude, what? How did I get filled so high? Dude, this is like some TD Ameritrade garbage. Look at this. Alright? Right now, this candle has a high of 266. That means, theoretically, no order should have been filled above 266. I just filled an order at $5 for 267. It's killing me, dude. Or for 5 shares at 267. Yeah. Yeah, the market opens at 9:30, but I mean, like Robinhood and stuff can trade at 9, and TD Ameritrade can start trading at 7, I believe. So, TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim doesn't let you set anything except the ask and the bid. So I tried to buy it. I bought in the ask. And it filled me high. So, what are you gonna do? So at least hold these 5 shares. I think that there was, that quite big sell off was probably people trying to take profits before, um, before the market actually opens. So yeah, quite a dip. And I mean, like, I do believe that GameStop probably will go up today. So that's why I just bought these 5 shares, expecting this to be, pretty good cost basis for the rest of the day. But if it turns around and I, immediately comes back screaming through 262, then I'll sell it off. Nothing else really too exciting happening at the moment. Nothing popping up on the scanners. ENVB highest gapper right now, but it's also pulled back a little bit. This latest 5 minute candle did a false breakout with 1 minute left on it, so I don't know if this is going to come back to up where it was. Not looking great. I could see ENVB going off, after the open. But as far as other stuff, so we got KOSS that's pulled back quite a lot. And I could see MNOV maybe. It still looks okay. It's holding closer to VWAP than some of the other things we're looking at. OBLN kind of pulled back a pretty significant amount. MGI, yes, terrible as well. I think ENVB is really going to be the one to watch this morning as far as low floats go, and then obviously GameStop. And nothing else is really looking too good. So those are going to be the two that I'm watching into the open. Try to take some trades on those. And then I'll be holding my 5 GameStop shares. And then if it seems like GameStop's trending up today, I'll try to add to the position as it dips. Get a nice position for the break over 300. But it's pretty much what I'm going to be looking at this morning. And 15 minutes to the bell right now. Nothing that I'm really interested in like taking a trade before that. So probably gonna end the stream now. I don't usually like trading directly into the open, and then I only get to trade for a short period of time after the open, and then I have to go to work. So I'm gonna get ready now. I'll let you guys know how the trades go tomorrow. This morning I got wrecked, so down $60 right now. We'll see how my GameStop shares trade for the rest of the day, but yeah, I was just trying to take shots this morning because the market's been so good. So, well, we'll come back here tomorrow, try to take some more shots. Yeah, have a good day, guys. I'll talk to you. I'll see you later.